run down the emergence of Nigel Kelly at edge rusher, and you're intrigued by a battle at one of the linebacker spots.
Yes, I am. Last year, I've been very critical of this young man in Corey Flagg Jr., number 11 from Miami. I think he's more of a group of five kind of guy, but he's shown and gained the respect of not only this staff but a bunch of his players. And it's not necessarily a size thing. It's just the last couple of seasons I've watched him out there, in coverage, it's been a rough one. But he's been able to just be a inside linebacker in our multiple scheme, and he has impressed Coach Kevin Steele and Coach Charlie Strong, and mainly because of his IQ and his effort and he wants to be good. Now, there's plenty of people who want to be good. Hell, Mark, I want to be 6'5". I'm not, okay? But eventually, when you have a young man who puts as much effort into something, who shows up every day, gives that high effort, has a drive to get better, a drive to learn the scheme, a drive to continue to look within themselves to get better, eventually it pops for them. All right. And I don't know if it pops in 22, maybe it pops in 23 for Corey Flagg Jr. But everything I've heard about the young man is that he's just been a tenacious grinder. And that's something that has stood out to this staff. Now, you look at Caleb Johnson, another transfer from UCLA. All right, these are the two who are going at it for our Mike/Mac position. All right, now that position really demands a bunch of leadership. All right, we need to be able to speak up. You need to get your 2-eye in the right spot. You need to get your 3 technique in the right spot. You need to be able to communicate with your free safety and make sure we're in the right coverage, okay? You have to be a talker. Usually why a bunch of middle linebackers don't wear mouthpieces is because up until the snap, you're calling things out. You are talking the entire time, all right? And you have to be able to do that at a high level, all right? You look at, of course, I think of Ray Lewis. He's my favorite player, to me, the best player in football history. I love him. But you look at any of these great players, when it comes to that middle linebacker position, they're not only a leader vocally, they're a leader by example. Okay, some of the best players on the teams are either the edge rusher, the middle linebacker, the corner, or the safety. All right, these are kind of premier positions. Well, when it comes to Caleb Johnson and Corey Flagg Jr., they have been going tit for tat, whether it be because of Caleb Johnson's athleticism and playmaking ability, or whether it be because Corey Flagg he knows where he's supposed to be and has been the communicator. They've been going back and forth and really battling it out for the middle linebacker position. Now, I get it. In the eyes of what we watched last year, Mark, number 11 is not the best player. You don't really want to see him on the football field. I get that. All right. We have to, and I'm speaking to myself, you, Holloway, as I'm looking in this, you have to be able to get rid of that and hope that this staff and that these coaches can be able to pull greatness out of our young men, because that's what you want. Not just to develop the elite prospects that everyone knows is going to be good. You have to be able to make the players who are perceived to not be that good or to be backups, you have to be able to get them up on the same level. All right, you need to be too deep at all positions and it not be a drop-off. And the elite programs, they sometimes go as deep as 3. It ain't about your 22, okay? It's about your 44. Okay? It's about your 44. Some instances, it goes down to 55 to your 60. Can you be deep with quality talent? And can you throw them out there and it not be a big drop-off? And again, you got to remember, these linebackers were coached by a guy that's no longer here. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm rooting for them, and I'm hoping that they stay healthy and they keep pushing one another. But like I said, 2 big battles, guys. Nigel Kelly and Mitchell Agude. And on the inside, at the Mike/Mac position, Corey Flagg Jr., a guy who led this team in tackles last year, being coached under previous staff, and Caleb Johnson, number 40, the new inside linebacker transfer from UCLA. I'm excited to see where it does. And Mark, something that you've been studying the game twice as long as I've been alive. Competition breeds greatness. If you can't push the man in front of you and you can't be pushed by the man behind you, no one's getting better. And I'm seeing a great competition at those two positions. I'm really proud of it, and I'm happy to hear the great work that all these young men are putting in. But those four in particular, I want to shout out today because I'm very proud of it.